Must-see Comedy Thursdays returning to NBC with returning favorites and new shows with stars. Sunny Side, starring Kal Penn, gets started tonight at 9:30, and it's all about a New York City councilman who is living the American dream but quickly finds a new mission after he loses his position.
We need a teacher and we need a place to study. And we need you to call someone to make that happen. Preferably someone who has not humiliated himself as flagrantly as you have.
Or you could just make us citizens.
Actually, a city councilor can't just make someone a citizen.
Whatever, just do it.
Please, we're just asking you to make one phone call. You can convince anyone to do anything. I once saw you give a speech at the opening of Wahlburgers down on Northern Boulevard. It almost made me want to eat there.
Okay, I'll give it a shot.
Joining us from New York is the co-creator, executive producer, and star of Sunny Side, Kal Penn. Thank you for being here with us.
Thanks for having me. How's it going?
It's going great. First question, how does somebody who doesn't smoke weed and doesn't eat meat end up in a comedy series at the movies where the whole goal is to go to White Castle after getting high?
It's what I love about my job, man. Those writers are incredible. By the way, we shot the third Harold and Kumar in Detroit, so had some great times a couple of summers ago doing that. Yeah,
what did you think of our fair town?
I loved it. I especially spent a lot of time at the CADE, the Contemporary Art Institute of Detroit, and just great people, amazing artists. Just the whole city has incredible art and music scene and food scene.
Absolutely, it's getting even better. Hey, where did the idea for Sunny Side come from?
So the idea for Sunny Side was about 5 years ago. I was on a show that had gotten canceled, and my producing partner said to me, "What's your dream show?" And I said, well, I love making people laugh. I love the kind of patriotic feel-good comedies we had when we were kids, like Head of the Class or Perfect Strangers or Fresh Prince. And I'd love to create something like that. So we explored the idea of whether it should be a cop show, whether I should play a teacher, something that basically gives you a group of people around you that's reminiscent of like a Friends or a Seinfeld, where there's something that launches it, but then essentially it's about their weird scenarios they encounter every week. And then partnered with Matt Murray and Mike Schur and created the current iteration of it, which is I'm a disgraced city councilman who finds his way to this group of immigrants who are trying to take the citizenship test. They try to hire me to help them study for it. I, of course, know nothing about what it means to be an American citizen, even though I am one. And so everything deteriorates from there, and we kind of become good friends.
Did you just drop a Head of the Class reference? Holy smokes, why not say Mr. Belvedere, Mr. Belvedere while you're at it?
That's how old I am. I know I don't look it, but no, man, those were the things that when I was like 7 years old, I'm like, I like this show. You know why? Because that was the kind of comedy that made you feel good when you turned off the TV. And it was something you could watch. I mean, obviously, when you're 7 years old, you're not like beefing with your friends. But at this age, you know, we kind of think of things in a more polarizing way. And what I like about comedy is it still has that power to bring people together. And that's what I wanted to do with this show.
Well, you are a stranger to politics, working with President Obama. How did that inform you as you created this show?
Yeah, so they were totally separate, which is what I loved about it. I loved my time in public service and obviously was very honored to work at the Obama White House. But in creating a show, I wanted to do what we kind of did with the Harold and Kumar movies, which was they were satires, they were broad stoner comedies. And in order for those movies to do well, we wanted to attract a broad audience. So our show is topical, obviously. It's, you know, the conceit is about a group of immigrants who find themselves becoming friends with an idiot like me. And that was about the extent of it. I mean, episode 2, which airs next week, is about whether one of the guys is a hitman or not, and my flawed character being really excited that he might actually be friends with one. So it's more about the situational. I would say it's actually more about, you know, the George Costanza that lives in all of us than it is about anything that you'd see on the news, which is kind of the magic of a show like this.
Kal, thank you for joining us. I'm told that's our time. I could talk all day to you. I appreciate it, buddy.
Okay. Yeah, same. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Sunny Side premieres tonight at 9:30 right here on Local 4.